March 2nd, 2009, exactly 15 years ago today. That was the day when I introduced to the world on my blog, The Deliberate Agrarian, a new idea. And I called it the Whizbang wheel hoe. I was motivated to make the Whizbang wheel hoe design after purchasing a very expensive Glacier wheel hoe with all kinds of attachments from Johnny's. And I realized that one, it's a very useful tool, the wheel hoe, and two, the most useful attachment by far was the oscillating stirrup blade. It goes just underneath the soil, back and forth as you operate the wheel hoe, and it cultivates and disturbs the weeds so that they don't grow. So it was a very useful tool, but it was a very expensive tool, and I thought to myself, there's opportunity here because it doesn't have to be that complicated. It doesn't have to be that expensive. So I came up, after a lot of fiddling around and a few prototypes, I came up with the Whizbang design. And it worked. It worked really well. I sold hundreds of kits over the years. I got great feedback, but a couple of years ago, I decided to stop making the kits. And the reason was that they were time consuming. And I'm getting older. I want to create more margin in my life. So I stopped selling the kits. I sold the last of them off. You can still go to my website. You can see the kits there. You can see what I sold them for. The prices would be higher now. The thing is, I stopped selling those kits, and I thought someone would pick up the idea and make relatively inexpensive kits available. A couple of people contacted me and said, would this be okay if I did this? And I said, yeah, sure. It's perfectly okay. It's a good idea. Keep it going, sell the kits, go for it. But to my knowledge, no one has done that. The thought has occurred to me that I should pick them up again because it was very satisfying to make and sell those kits. People were very pleased with the end product, but I'm not going to. Instead, what I'm going to do is make here the last of my wheel hoe blades. And I'm going to show you how I bend them, and I'm going to talk about the material. This is spring steel, 1.25 inches wide. This is what the blade is made out of. I'm going to give more details at the end of this video about this material, where to get it, what I paid for it, if you're interested, because I want someone to do this. This is the material, and this is the spring steel hoe blade, okay? And it goes on the blade arm. This is an 8-inch. Most of what I have here are 8-inch. 8-inch will get the job done. The thing is, this is a lot of work, okay? Bending on this tool right here is a lot of work because it's kind of monotonous. I got maybe 100 here, the last of them. It will take me a couple of days to get them done. I'll listen to a podcast, I'll get bored, and I'll go do something else. I have a short attention span anyways, but I'll get these done. And when they're sold, when they're gone, they're gone. The other thing is, on this bender, the Howron bender, that's what this is, a Howron bender. I bought it specifically to bend blades and these arms. And it does it. It did a good job. This is 3/16 steel. It takes a lot of muscle to bend these arms. Yeah, a lot of muscle. But hey, that's okay. Work is not bad. Work is good. But it's the time factor. Anyway, I'm going to close up here and I'm going to show you how I bend these blades on the Howron bender. Right there you can see all of the blades that I'm going to have to bend here over the next couple of days. And there is the Howron bender, which I'll be showing you. And here are blades that I have bent and that are ready to sell. These blades, I should tell you, are 1.25 inches wide, and I have them cut to length. This material comes in a roll. I have it cut to length by a fabricator that I worked with over the years, and he also punched the holes in the end. And then I sharpened these, both edges, sharpened with a bench grinder outdoors. That's tedious, very tedious. More tedious than bending, for sure. I should mention that I have PDF specifications, inexpensive specifications for all the parts and how-to for putting the wheel hoe together. That's available on my website. There's a link in the description below. Let me show you how this Howron bender works. Oh, let me show you first that I have it mounted on my bench. This is actually a wheel hoe body that got mis-drilled. So I had my fabricator make this mounting thing right here. It's very solid, has to be solid when you're bending that 3/16 and quarter inch steel I bent on some of these parts. Okay, so over the years when I've bent these, I have bent a whole bunch at a time, and then it's months later before I bend them again. And instead of trying to figure out the position of all of my block and, you know, the different parts here, I took a picture like this. So wheel hoe blade bending setup. So I didn't have to refigure it out. It's all right here. And I did that for every part that I had to bend, and that helped a lot. So I put the sharpened edge out and slide that in, and I have a small bolt here, and I put that in the hole there. I make sure that the head is flat against there, and hold this down and give it a bend. I've got a vice grip on the howron there, clamped on where it needs to stop, and that's all there is to it. Repeat the process on the other side. This block, I don't want it to spin around. I actually have it bolt head. I have it marked right there because that's the side that I need to be against. It won't work with the other sides. All right, so make sure it's setting down. Give it a bend. All right, and every so often this bolt will kind of work its way up, and I have to give it a bop down, but there we go. That's the wheel hoe blade ready to go to work. That's the story on making wheel hoe blades out of spring steel. My supplier is Mead Metals in St. Paul, Minnesota. I've purchased from them several times over the years. My last purchase, this material right here, was 2020. And the minimum, they have a minimum. They sell it by the pound. The minimum was 70 pounds at that time. My total cost was $525 plus shipping. They shipped it to me on my UPS account. I don't know how much that cost, but 70 pounds. So I will put specific information about this material, you know, the number, the exact description, that if you were to purchase some, you would want to give them. That's in the description to this video. I hope somebody will pick this up and run with it. There's opportunity here. The world needs a affordable wheel hoe, and these kits were affordable. They were simple to build. Somebody needs to do it. Maybe it's you. Will you pick up the ball and run with it? Now, one more thing. I've got 2 YouTube videos about making the wheel hoe. All right, I'll put links to those also in the description. Check those out if you're interested. It's a wonderful tool. Whizbang wheel hoe. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you in the next one. I got work to do. Bye-bye.